Because we live in a totally different time and culture than that which the Bible was written in, sometimes we read things in the scriptures and we just scratch our heads and think, where's the logic in that? Why in the world did they do that? Or why did this happen? One such case may be for many of you in 1 Samuel chapter 11. We read that the Ammonite king Nahash was harassing some of the tribes of Israel, and when I think it was Dan and Reuben that he had besieged, and he took all of the men and he plucked out their right eye. He said that this was to humiliate them. But it goes much deeper than that. What's the purpose of just putting out an eye? How is putting out an eye humiliating a person? You're just maiming them. You're just blinding them in one eye. And a lot of us may read that and say, well, man, what's the point? Why do that? Why have a bunch of guys walking around with a patch over their right eye? But a lot of these tribes, the way that they fought, the way that they were experts in certain forms of warfare, is that these specific men that the Ammonite king Nahash targeted were marksmen. They were archers. And if you've ever, used a bow and arrow, you'll know that you usually aim and focus with one of your eyes. And more times than not, it's your right eye. You close the other eye and leave the other open in order to, hone in your target when you're using a bow and arrow. So he plucked out the right eye of a lot of the men of Israel in order that they wouldn't be able to be marksmen or archers anymore. So some of them were archers and some of them, used slings or what have you. So to be a successful and mighty warrior, you needed both of your eyes in order to use your weapons correctly. So when this pagan Ammonite king Nahash plucked out the right eye of many of the children of Israel, he was basically decimating their army without killing anyone. That's how he humiliated them. He emasculated them from the fight is basically what he did, and disheartened them, because now they may have men that were able to fight in one-on-one combat, but they didn't have archers anymore, somebody who could protect the city from long range. They didn't have marksmen anymore, and in this way, the pagan Ammonite king Nahash was able to slowly conquer the tribes of Israel. So we read that and say, well, what's the purpose of poking out, the right eye of these people? That's just cruel. He had a reason. He had a purpose. It was to reduce the number in their military service, especially those that were in the ranks and the legions of marksmen and archers. We see another example, and I don't remember the citation of the passage at the moment, but it was, I think, in the time of Joshua, when Joshua captured one of the Canaanite kings, and it says that he cut off the thumbs and the big toes of this king. And the king said, God's paying me back because every king that I conquered, this is what I did to them. So what was the purpose of cutting off the thumbs and the big toes? Sure, it was cruel, but what separates us from the animal kingdom? It's our opposable thumb. That's one thing that separates us from the animal kingdom. And many people don't know, but you need your big toe in order to walk. If you were to cut off your big toes, you would have to go through physical therapy for a long time before you were able to walk again. So when this evil king did this to the other kings he conquered, he basically turned them from noble kings to the height of pride and power, and reduced them not to slaves, not to servants, but even lower than a slave and a servant, to an animal, where they had to crawl on their hands and knees underneath this king's table in order to get scraps of food that fell from the table. He treated them like dogs and like animals. And that's why that they did this. And so they did this to this king in order to divinely pay him back for what he did to the other kings. So you may read that in the biblical account and wonder, man, why did this happen? So these are just some of the reasons behind some of these obscure passages you may read. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Go out there and have a great day. God bless.
Abraham'sDescendants.com, getting back to the first century in a 21st century way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press the like button as well as the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and the notification bell that'll let you know every time I make a new video. And don't forget to share this with a friend. Also, visit our website at abrahamsdescendants.com. Thanks. Shalom. Thanks for watching. Stay connected by subscribing to our other social media accounts and visiting our website at abrahamsdescendants.com.